Welcome to Make a Path Presents. I'm Ronnie Hayes, and today let's talk OUTCAST Season 1, Episode 5. Now we're going to jump right into this. I saw three main parts through this episode that they focused on. One, which was the crime scene investigation in the trailer, or the remnants of what's left of the trailer. Number two is the failed exorcisms and the worry that the devil, or what they believe is the devil, is still hiding in these people. And number three, which connects to number two, Kyle's wife still being possessed or still having the darkness inside her. Now, number one, the investigation. I frickin' love the tension, I love the mystery, and I believe there might be a level of misdirect here. This is really cool if they're laying it on thick that this fire chief, this friend to Chief Gillis, could be a murderer, could be a piece of shit, bad guy who butchered someone in the trailer, but we see a hint of misdirect that it could have something to do with a possession. He could have actually been trying to help. One huge plot hole here that I just cannot get past is the watch. At first I thought it was clever, but now that the investigation is continuing, I'm thinking this is a horrible choice, because in the real life scenario, they would need that watch during the trial, because once the prosecutors and everybody lay out their case and they say, okay, what led you to this person here, the one cop's going to talk about a watch and the other cop is going to have to explain why he gave that watch to his best friend / their number one suspect. So the whole watch thing right there, it was clever at first, but it's really burning a hole in the writing. Moving on to number two, the dark ooze. Now at this point, it's either alien or alien-like, or a demon. I mean, we could probably theorize on some other possibilities, but I think right now, those are the two most likely, you know? I doubt this was something they grew in a lab. I doubt this is something that existed in a cave, you know, so it's gotta be either alien or demon, right? Until we get further proof, that's what we're sticking with, either alien or frickin' demon. Now, drinking the darkness. The child, Kyle's daughter, was talking about this while she was playing with Barbies. This leads into something that gets problematic later on, but we did see more in this episode that Kyle's touch not only hurts these people, but look at this guy. When Kyle is touching him, not only is it hurting him, but he's starting to get this black stuff in his veins, and it's as if it's being sucked out of his body, up through his throat, and then out of his mouth, which we see in the girl later on. We see the same thing. He touches them, it burns them or hurts them, and then the blackness is in their veins, as if it's being pulled or drawn out of the body. Now, I think that is pretty cool, and there's some mystery there. Now, Allison, and this is a positive, later on, Allison jerks her arm back, and it's so ambiguous that it's perfect, because at first we think, oh my god, she might be still possessed. Later on, they pull the rug out from under us in a beautiful way on the porch, and here she's not possessed and they kiss, but I'm getting ahead of myself. Back it up to the dark ooze. Now, when they go to the runaway girl, she tells Kyle the weirdest shit, man. She says that he's the key, we're the nameless, the numberless, and they see through the veil. Now, what is the veil? Simply put, the veil, is it the body? Is that it? Can they actually see through the body and look into the person and see who they are? Like, for example, when Sydney went to Mildred and she looked through the body, it took a minute, and she saw who he was on the inside. I mean, they don't do that to normal people. They don't get confused easily like that, so maybe they can see through the veil, see through the body, and look at the darkness inside the person. Just a thought real quick while watching that. Now, we've seen the runaway actually float, which was fucking crazy. The dark ooze, we've seen it leaves the person, and when it leaves the person, it causes a coma. Same thing that happened to Kyle's mother during the flashbacks. And then at Mildred's, they talk about the merge, as if maybe the dark ooze merges with the person they're inside, because Mildred talks about not surviving, and then she kisses him later on after their discussion, and he's like, this won't work on me. So do they suck in powers? I mean, what's going on there? That's pretty damn cool. Let's go to number three, Kyle's wife. Now here's where the frickin' problems start, and I'm disappointed as hell because I am enjoying the shit out of this show and the comic, and there are problems related to both, like, for example, the kid not being able to keep it a secret that it was the mother that was actually possessed and beating her and not her father. I don't believe now the kid would keep that secret because she's ballsy enough to say, you're a mean bitch to the mom. So I doubt she'd keep the secret. That's a little contradictory there. I feel hopefully they will make that a little clearer in the future. Maybe she didn't remember it or something, but then again, she talks about the darkness. I'm talking about the child now. So it's a tad confusing. Now, the second problem I have where Allison, Kyle's ex-wife/wife, is talking to Kyle's sister, and it's perfect writing at this point. She says, "There are days I can't remember." Ooh, it gave me the chills, made me so excited. Then the writing spiraled the fuck out of control, and she decided to spoon feed us, or I should say the writer decided to spoon feed us the line, "I feel like it could be blocking the truth," or some bullshit like that about blocking the truth. Come on, man. They even dosed this shit on us later on in the conversation, so why tell us now? The writing was so good, and it got a little pathetic at that point, so they need to tighten it up. I know this is a complex story. We got this, man. Do not spoon feed anymore. Just let us think a little. We got this. And the last thing, the props for whoever set this paint shot up where Allison's bringing in the garbage and she sees what's clearly a pile of blood. It's blood. It's blood. Okay? There's no way around that. It's not paint. Look how glossy it is. Look how it's so reflective that it's like a mirror. It's frickin' blood. They literally put blood on the floor and then tried to make it seem like it's paint later on, and it was a cheap trick. It's as cheap as jump scares. Do not do that shit. If you cannot properly show blood on the ground or paint on the ground and make it look like blood, then don't do it. You know what? When she's finally in the room and the kid's painting, there's paint on the rug, and, it kind of looks like paint, but it kind of is pretty dark, so I give them credit that they matched it up. However, they could have done that on the rug or something similar. It just stood out. You used fake blood, and then you used paint in the bedroom. And how many times did the kid here put the paint can down? Look at this. This is ridiculous. But the kid does get credit for this acting role where she's getting the shit shaken out of her. That was a good job. And somebody clearly seen Dexter. Now, we wrap this up by the end of the episode. Kyle gets to his house, and behind him we see a little Easter egg. It is Sydney's car, which confirms that, yes, that house he was in previously where he was straightening the picture. We saw the dining room table where Kyle and his neighbor were sitting at eating. Sydney killed the neighbor in a previous episode. We didn't see it, but we saw his razor. And then in this episode, it confirms to me that he is staying in the neighbor's house. That is why he was there, the slimy bastard. And the story gets even better and heartbreaking when Kyle goes to his wife on the porch, Allison, and they have this really, really touching, heartbreaking scenes. One huge problem, though, I do not know why the actress is doing this, but she is not expressing anything whatsoever at all in her face. There's almost zero expressions. Look at these screenshots. These are taken from all the random screenshots, and one of them, she's telling Kyle off. She's like, "God damn you." And instead of her face being expressive, it's literally the same. It's as if her mouth moves, but nothing else moves. I don't know. I mean, this shit gotta stop. It's getting in the way. It's making her act. She's a beautiful woman. You're gonna still be beautiful if you're being expressive and yelling at somebody. It's pulling me out of the moment, and this was a strong moment I really, really enjoyed, but be a bit more expressive. If you're gonna tell him, "God damn you," at least make the look like you're disgusted, you're annoyed, or pissed off. Give us something besides speaking the words fucking please. So like I said, before we got this, did it hurt when Kyle touched her? Now we get the reveal that she is fine. He touches her, they kiss. It is heartbreaking. They set it up great. I think they did a really great job between Kyle and his wife here, and then previously between Kyle and the Reverend, where Kyle was mad at him, said, if your God is out there, he's laughing at you. They had just two really, really good moments between some of these main characters, and there's just that little bit of poor writing, whatever the hell they're doing, deceiving us with props. I don't get it. I don't know why in 2016 they are spending millions to bring us this entertainment, but they think they can pull cheap tricks. It doesn't make sense. Listen again. Listen clearly. You're spending millions, but inserting cheap tricks. Look at how contradictory that is, okay? If there was no possible way to make the paint actually look like blood, then you should have scrapped it from the script completely and did something else. It shows a serious lack in creativity, and I'm very, very disappointed in that. Now, I know some might argue, it's dark red and red, it's not a big deal. It is a big deal, because if they think they can get away with this cheap trick, they might try to do another one, and another one, and another one, and pretty soon this isn't OUTCAST. Pretty soon we're watching fucking Z Nation. Fuck this shit, Cinemax. Do better. Love this episode. Still really excited for what's to come. Give me your thoughts and opinions down in that comment box. I'm done talking. It's your turn. Subscribe now.